Welcome back to Chips and Salsa. I'm CRob.
I'm Jerry.
Jerry, today we have a real treat. We have 1.5 researchers that participated in Project Circuit Breaker. We're going to be talking to Seperdad and the amazingly fun Rocky.
Yeah, so Seth participated in the Trusted Crossings event as part of Project Circuit Breaker. So, as CRob mentioned, he and Rocky joined us to tell us about his experience.
Let's take a look. I want to welcome Sep to the show. Could you maybe introduce yourself, talk about who you work with, and talk about your area of expertise?
Sure. So, hi, my name is Seperdad. Everyone calls me Sep. I basically work in security. I'm currently a security engineer in one of the big e-commerce companies in Europe, mostly focusing on web application hacking and these sorts of stuff. Although in my free time, I really like to dig into all of those like fancy C applications and fuzzing and whatnot. So,
In your spare time.
Yeah. Well, Sep, it's great to have you on the show. We're here to talk about Project Circuit Breaker, and you were involved in Trusted Crossings. How did you hear about Project Circuit Breaker? How did you get involved with that particular project?
so it was basically, I believe it was Twitter. I was browsing Twitter, and then I came across, because Intel is one of those companies. Like I look into all of the open source stuff, and also I follow them on Twitter. So I believe I came across the post, which it was like, hey, we are launching this new program, bug bounty program with Integrity. And I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. So I went and looked it up on the site, and then what I did was I went through some of the stuff, and I really liked the idea, and also the cool website. It was super attractive, I would say. So this is how I basically found Project Circuit Breaker. So
Yeah, the graphics they developed for that program are pretty phenomenal.
So what about the program appealed to you that made you interested? What was unique about it?
so the thing that made me like super interested was like specifically about Trusted Crossings was the fact that it is a super new technology, specifically when virtualization. It's not out there, and we get to test it. And this was the thing. I was like, okay, let's go. I have to do this. So, and I went for it.
That's great.
So, like through Project Circuit Breaker, there's a lot of interaction with Intel engineers. What was your experience like with that?
Okay, so what I really liked, like in the program itself, was exactly this: the interaction with the Intel team. They were super responsive, super cool, and at the same time, we had these sessions where they would come and teach us on this new technology. Like, hey, this is how the architecture looks like, and this is how it works. And also, like, basically, there were engineers coming from the engineering team of Intel who would show us, like, hey, this is how it works. And you could ask any question you have, or can do basically, yeah, get this opportunity to talk to the people who basically designed the system.
Is that a bird?
Yep, his name is Rocky.
My neighbor's got a bird. Sounds a lot like Rocky. I can hear it in the summertime when the windows are open.
Yep, sorry about that.
No
That's
worries.
okay.
Everybody knows him. I went to DEF CON. Everybody knows him. I went to other places. They asked me like, "Hey, how was Rocky?" So,
You take Rocky to DEF CON on your shoulder, or
well, it was I went on this virtual one last year for with the application security village. It was hilarious. The second I opened my mic, it went like crazy. So coming back to the finding, so um, what I found during my research. So, firstly, the TDX system itself is like they're super complex. There are a lot of parameters involved, a lot of things going on. But there are a lot of parameters and a huge attack surface over there. But the cool part of it is the main thing that it is trying to solve, which is basically encrypting the memory, making sure um, the main core of this technology is done right. So this is the cool part. So it uses basically AES and then all of those like fancy crypto stuff to make sure the memory um, is encrypted properly. At the same time, the um, the process of the attestation is also super cool. I found it to be super unique. But when it comes to my own finding, it was like, hey, dude, we have this disk, the VM disk. It is not encrypted, so it's probably not a good idea to have it not encrypted. So
Mhm.
yeah, that was the one out of scope, but yeah,
but still a good finding, huh?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's really great. And along the way, you mentioned working with the Intel engineers. Did you get an opportunity to share and talk with the other researchers that were in the program with you?
I did. So there was this Slack channel that was basically created for the project,
Hmm.
where researchers and also Intel team were sharing information. It was just basically used to share information,
Yeah.
also like announcements and whatnot. And the cool part about that Slack channel was that when somebody was asking a question, if anyone else had the answer to it, they would answer your question.
Oh
And I
wow.
did actually, yeah, I did actually have had private conversations also with others.
Hmm.
So through Slack, uh,
Hmm.
great instant messaging, I would say. So yeah.
It's very nice that you had that ability to have that community to lean into and to help each other out. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, also super cool researchers, I have to admit.
Well,
Um,
yourself included.
yeah. So, what's next for you? Are you looking to get involved in any future Project Circuit Breaker events?
Absolutely, I would say that is without a doubt. The To be honest, my experience was like super cool with the project. Firstly, um, the resources that are required for testing was available. So we had this like
Mhm.
big monster machine that was given to us, like full root. You can go and play around with it as much as you want, 24 hours. That was one of the things that was really cool, because usually you have to get like the hardware, or I don't know, grab some device, buy it or something, and then use your own device. But for this project, this was one of the coolest parts. The second thing that was really good was that these sessions that we had. So that where basically the Intel guys come in and tell us about this whole technology, how it works, and so on, which made it much more easier granted, the technology is not as easy to understand, but that was of a really great help. Specifically, we had this one session with the offensive guys where they shared some of the vulnerabilities that they found in their research for the same technology. That was also really cool, and it gave me one idea that I tested out, and I had some interesting things with like eBPF
Mm-hmm.
and playing around with that, but that did not lead to somewhere good. But at least I tested it out.
It's cool. You got that inspiration.
Gotta keep turning over those rocks.
Yeah. One more thing that has been tested, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we thank you and Rocky for coming today and sharing your experiences with Project Circuit Breaker. It's amazing to see that the community and participation that was built through this, and we're glad you had a really positive experience. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Also, thanks a lot to the great team at Intel for organizing it. Yeah, I would say.
Awesome.
Well, that was a lot of fun, CRob.
It was.
When Rocky decided to join the show. Thanks, Rocky, for your appearance.
Rocky had the feels.
But it's great to hear about Sep's experience, in the program, and the great experience he had working with Intel engineers and the other researchers. So I'm looking forward to future events.
Absolutely, me too. And I think everyone else should be looking forward to future episodes of Chips and Salsa. We'll be talking to researchers like Rocky and other Intel engineers and personalities to kind of help explain security issues and security technologies.
Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching.